Alright you guys, so today what I'm going to be doing is building a wire weeder for in the garden, pulling out all the weeds, all that tedious time. I built one of these for my father a few weeks back and was happy with how it turned out, and was really happy with the cost of doing it versus purchasing one of these. As you probably know, they're very expensive. And pretty much all you're going to need is just a broomstick, a quick change bit adapter for like a power drill. So you want to make sure that you can switch out bits and it's not just a magnet, but there's actually like a clip in there that holds it until you release it. You're going to need some power bits. I used the T40 Torx bits, and that's just because of the width at the end. I didn't want anything flimsy. So that's as big as my store would carry. You're going to need some, what I use is 9-gauge wire. I'm sure you could get away with a little bit thinner stuff, but that seemed to work good, and it's quite cheap. You get the whole roll of that for $15. I think that's about 150, 200 feet. And then what I use to connect the wire itself to the power bit, I just used a little 3/8 nut, and you'll see how I weld that up, but I mean it's really simple and strong, and that seemed to work out quite well. And then you'll just need some epoxy, and that's in order to set the power bit into your broomstick or whatever kind of rod you're using here. Alright, so to start I'm just going to cut off the threaded portion of this. The wood gets really thin in there anyways, so I think it's best I just nip that off, and then that allows me to drill the hole for the power bit, the quick change adapter, to get mounted in there, and that way I can epoxy the metal and everything all as one. And that seemed to work out quite well last time. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is, I just got a 5/16 drill bit here. And that's going to allow me to drill a hole for this quick change adapter. And that way I can epoxy it in there, and it gives me a little bit of room for that glue to really set in around it. Once you got it all full of epoxy, then just set it, make sure it's good and square where you want it. Alright, so as you can see, you get that epoxy built up around there. That should work out perfect. So now that I'm happy with it, I'm actually just going to set this off to the side because we're going to let that cure. You really don't have to go that long, at least with this stuff, but they say for full strength it's 24 hours. And I'm not exactly in a rush, so we'll wait it. So when I had previously made this, I actually just made up doubles for myself. This is one that I saw online that looked pretty nice actually, because the reason why it's got this little offset right here instead of just being a straight shot is this way you have 4 inches to scrape widthwise here, but then if you get into fine detail work like close to plants or in between some closely planted items, you flip it this direction. Now you got that like 1 to 1.5 inch width, which works out real nice. And for really tight spots, just like with those, you can just nip with the corner. So in using that other one, I found I like this one probably the best. However, they do offer online. I've seen like this one's about 5 inches. I think they even offer a 6-inch one, and then like a 2-inch. Obviously you can make these however you want. So in order to make one of these, it's quite simple actually. So 4, 8, and then the width of the weeder itself. Let's make this one about 2 inches, so I'll just give myself a little bit of extra room. Nip it off there. Alright, so then it's got that curvature. You can try and get it out while it's on the spool, and you can, but I've just been just flattening it out on the little anvil surface. That's straight enough. So I just kind of just eyeball this stuff, you know. So right there, sticking in my vise up to there, put a little tension on it, and just tap it. So now if I wanted to make about a 2-inch one, say about right there. Same thing, I just like to keep a little tension on it. Tap it around, straighten it up. And I just kind of grab it with the pliers here and bend it the rest of the way because we need these two to meet. And I mean, it's just eyeballing it. Looks pretty good to me. I just nip off this end. There you go, another one done. Like I said, you can make them however you want. Alright, so then what I do is I just mount a nut into the vise here, just because then it holds it for you, obviously. Grab one of your Torx bits, or just any power drill bit. I'm just going to grab onto it with the vise grips here. Because these gloves are pretty bulky. And then we'll just do our best to line it up and tack it in here. That would have been bad. Alright, we'll flip her over now. Grab whichever weeder you want. And just do your best to square it up. That's one down. Well, it's been a few days now, so the epoxy here has had time to set, and it's ready to go to work for you. Nice and easy to switch them out. Change to whatever size you need in a matter of seconds. So the last set of these I made, I actually sandblasted them all down and painted them all up nice. I'm just really not sure if it's necessary to go dig in the garden with them, have them all painted up. Between the bit and the quick change adapter, the paint adds too much thickness for the tolerance in there, so you had to scrape off the paint anyways in order to get it in the quick change coupler. So that was pointless. So I think I might just throw a little bit of oil on these or something and call it good for now. Worst case scenario, it gets a little surface rust on it. Absolute worst case scenario, it breaks and you come back to the bench and build a few more. So looking forward to using it. I think they work great for their purpose. This way you can just till through your middle aisles and then just go through with the wire weeder and scrape out, you know, all your in-between weeds. But anyways, I hope this video helped. If it did, please give the video a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.